Moving on to our last topic of the day. What is a rule change that you would like to see?
So bring back old fashioned kickoff. Okay, that's my
Okay.
number one.
That's your number one.
I want Devin Hesterish returns back. No more BS with fair catch and the 25 shit. No moving the ball up the 35-yard line to kick it. No more back to the end zone. Touchbacks. I wanted to see some guys going through hitting that seam and it's just gone. I miss that.
Oh my god, is it? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, those were always the most exciting plays because especially like if your team like just got scored on and you're like, fuck, dude, like can our offense get it going? Then all of a sudden you just look up and your returns running up the sideline to the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20. That's you're just
stuff.
like, we are in this game.
I love that stuff, man.
Fuck that they just scored. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Now it's like you can go to the bathroom during kickoff. You can go get your drink. You can grab more food. Who even cares, right? They're trying to take that play away from us.
Yeah, we won't let them one way or another.
Make kickoff great again.
No, none of that.
He said none of that. Not in the political way, everyone.
No.
Fine. Yes, we can. How about that? Is that better? I gave both sides there. Okay.
All right, I guess that works. We can just vote. Yes, we can, or make kickoffs great again. I'm sure that won't get political at all.
We tailor to both sides. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. I was kidding. No, I'm kidding. I agree. I think I really love to see the kickoff rules be pulled back a little bit. I also love to see quarterback protections be pulled back a little bit. I know we got to protect these guys, are the money makers, the face of the franchise, but I hate how much it affects the goddamn game and how biased it can be sometimes. How what's the term I'm thinking of here? Inconsistent.
The actual flags that get thrown.
Like roughing the passer, it can just change week to week. You're like watching a play, and guy gets a sack, and you're like, yeah, and it's like, well, technically he landed too hard on his side, so it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it gets to a point sometimes where you're really like, what else do you want him to do? He just pushed him over.
Yeah, but for sure.
So is that the only rule change you were looking for, or?
You tell me, man.
All right, I was on the pre-show. You were mentioning something about the old Mary Joanna there or something.
So it's kind of weird that I know there's a lot of drug testing stuff and gambling getting brought up here and people getting suspended, whatnot. And
sex, drugs, and alcohol.
Whenever there's money involved, things get hairy. So yeah, I mean, going back to the weed thing, I feel like we're in a day and age now where if they do have some sort of drug policy, I guess whatever, fine. But do we still need to suspend guys for half a season or a full season for smoking weed when we all know? I mean, this number might be a little bit high. Who knows how factual this is, right? Travis Kelce said last week or this past week, whenever it was, that 50 to 80% of players smoke it during the off season, right? So, I mean, is really 80 valid? Probably not. I would probably say half, though. And you look at it weed is legal in 23 states right now. Why are guys still taken out for an entire year for weed? I just feel like it's kind of outdated. Again, maybe there can be some happy middle where maybe it's a 2-4 game suspension, maybe. But I don't know. I feel like the day and age where guys are getting suspended for an entire year, this seems a bit out of place.
Well, I think maybe more broadly, just to take this conversation a little bit more broadly here, I think with fans, there definitely seems to be a disconnect in between what they believe the suspensions are for and what they actually are for. I've seen a lot of complaints about, why is the betting and facility half a season and betting on a game is a full season, or but domestic violence is just this, or weed's just that. And I think what people fail to see is the NFL is not a moral compass. Like, they're not here to hand out suspensions on what they think morally should be right. That's what we as people do because we have our morals and we're projecting them onto the NFL. The NFL's suspension policy is there to protect the image of the NFL. Now, what seems more damaging to the image of the NFL? Domestic violence or gambling? Now, again, both are obvious. One's obviously wrong. Not both are wrong. One's obviously very wrong. Domestic violence is absolutely horrendous and wrong. But it's very easy for the NFL to sit and go, look, all our players aren't, domestic violence abusers. Like, this one guy's the bad guy. We can push him out and that's fine. But with, for example, betting, if the betting thing becomes a problem or whatever, like it gets like, yeah, NFL players bet on games, then you lose the integrity of the game. And if you lose the integrity of the game, you lose the viewership of the game, the money of the game, which is what the NFL really cares about. It's the same thing with the weed. It's not about is it actually bad for the players or what's the effects of the players. It's that they don't want to be associated with something that still has a negative societal stereotype in most places. They want a nice family, clean-cut imagery. This is exactly why they don't really have any, at least as far as I can see or aware of, any liquor partnerships. I think they have maybe Bud Light, maybe.
Yeah.
If they're an official sponsor of the NFL.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like they're in the beverage space somehow.
Yeah, but like their kind of thing is more like we're a beverage, but like you don't walk around and see, Don Julio sponsorships really. And even like I think here's another one, for example. I think they do actually might have a sponsorship with Crown Royal. And if you watch the game, like the ad for Crown Royal, right, isn't promoting Crown Royal. It promotes hydrating. Right? I mean, how often do you see that from a liquor commercial where they're like, hey, by the way, if you had Crown today, drink a glass of water. I think, like I said, that's really their commercials. Like it's two. Like I remember one specifically. It's two dudes sitting across from each other at a bar, staring at each other, like trying to like intimidate, get a feel. And one guy orders a water, and then the guy like nods his head and orders a water too. And then at the end it goes, Crown Royal, drink responsibly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, but there's no imagery of people drinking at a party and having fun. There's no imagery of people drinking at a bar and having fun. Because I think that's what the NFL allows them to promote because they want to keep their family-friendly imagery. So the betting would hurt the integrity a lot. That's why it gets the largest suspension. Being associated with weed hurts what they view as their brand a lot, so that gets a suspension. Domestic violence gets a suspension because it's morally wrong, but they feel they can pin that more to the player and not the league as a whole.
Going back to your comment about weed and the whole like brand image stuff, no one would know these guys smoke weed unless they didn't test for it and actually make it known they're getting suspended for.
Or some big tight end parties too much and yells it onto a podcast that 50 to 80% of the league is high all the time. Something like that possibly.
But you're not seeing videos of guys like. I mean, they can get like an issue if someone puts on their IG story of them just smoking blunts and it's like, yeah, that. You can't be doing that, right?
Look what happened to Laramie Tunsil for a 3-year-old video of him smoking through what was it, the gas mask, I think, right?
Right. Yeah.
He was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick and dropped till middle of the first round almost.
Yeah, someone just like leaked that to hurt him. But if players like did it safely, like don't be like idiots. Like you don't need to record everything. Just do your stuff. Like I don't know. Yeah.
Like I said, for sure. Like again. Social wise, I agree with you. Like if that's your right to go do your thing. If you want to bet, that's your right. If you want to go party with strippers, that's your thing. Go do you, have fun. But like there's certain things I think, like I said, I see it every time someone gets suspended, fans go, yeah, but it's only 3 games for domestic violence. I'm like, well, again, it should be life for domestic violence, but the NFL doesn't view that as much as a image issue for the NFL. It views it as a image issue for that player.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're running like test groups and like the test groups that told them that they view domestic violence more attached to the player than the team. But I mean, even when you kind of think about it, you don't think of like, for example, the 49ers as a team full of domestic violence abusers, but they've had there was a string there where it was like every other week some player was being caught in a domestic violence case.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, I think the NFL suspends based on an imagery issue, and for some reason they still don't want to be associated with we. You know, again, whether that's someone's going to say something, someone's going to film something. You know, I mean, even you get suspended for being drunk in public. Like they'll suspend you for that because to them that hurts what they view as their image.
Like the actual image.